Oscar Garcia is behind bars after a failed robbery attempt at a convenience store. He then tried to flee from police on a bus. The incident occurred at 3:48 p.m. on the 21st of July 2022, when officers responded to a call of a robbery at the Quick Trip located at 7878 East Admiral Place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The authorities said that a masked man attempted to rob the store, but then became frustrated when the clerk misunderstood his demands and grabbed merchandise. A suspect, who's identified as Oscar Garcia, allegedly ran and then got on a southbound bus. The investigator said that Oscar went into the store wearing a jacket and a hat and covered his face in a bandana. He allegedly put a bag on the counter and demanded small bills from the cashier. The clerk reportedly asked Oscar to repeat what he said, and Oscar repeated small bills. The clerk thought Oscar said something about cigarettes, so he'd asked Oscar if he wanted Marlboro Reds. Oscar said then he would take the Marlboro 100s. Police said Oscar became frustrated in his inability to pull off the robbery and aborted the attempt. Before he left, he reportedly filled the bag with energy pills from the area around the cash register. He then allegedly paid for Black & Mild cigars before fleeing from the store. Police followed the bus he got on, and he surrendered to officers at the bus stop. The authorities said that Oscar had visited the Quick Trip earlier that day, but he was recognised because of his distinct appearance. Oscar was booked on charges of strong-armed robbery, wearing a mask in commission of a felony, and a gang-related offence. He's held at the Tulsa County Jail with bond set at $25,000. On the 16th of July 2022, 52-year-old James Barrett and his acquaintance, 60-year-old Edward Norman, have been arrested and charged with abuse of a corpse after 36-year-old Britta Lashley's mummified remains were discovered in a storage unit belonging to James in Prattville, Alabama. Britta was last seen on the 21st of February 2021 near the 1000 block of Autauga County Road 21 in Prattville. Her mother, Tammy Lashley, who lives about 285 miles away in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, reported her daughter missing on the 15th of June 2022, telling authorities that she hadn't heard from her daughter since February of 2021 and believes something bad has happened to her. Tammy told the sheriff's office that her daughter was last known to have been with James Barrett. James advised her that he would have Britta contact her, however Britta never did. A missing persons report was filed, and the investigators began searching for Britta and her last known acquaintances in and around Autauga County. On the 21st of June 2022, the authorities posted a missing person notice on social media for Britta, asking for the public's assistance in locating her. Information was gathered from different sources, and the investigation continued. On the 12th of July, the authorities executed a search warrant on a storage unit that belonged to James in Prattville, and found the mummified remains of a woman in it. On the afternoon of the 16th of July, both James and Edward were taken into custody at an RV park off Washington Ferry Road in Montgomery. On the 18th of July, a release from the Autauga County Sheriff's Office said that the woman's body is yet to be formally identified, but they believe it's the missing person. They said that based on Britt's physical description, her known tattoos, and other investigative findings, they are confident the remains are those of Britta Ann Lashley. It's reported that Britta's body was first stored at the Comfort Stay Motel in Montgomery, Alabama, where James worked, which had been undergoing renovation. James's acquaintance, Edward Norman, allegedly rented a U-Haul truck and helped James move Britta's body from a motel to the Prattville storage unit on the 10th of July. An autopsy was completed on the 13th of July, but the results are still pending. The authorities announced on the 18th of July that there was no indication that Britta was a victim of a homicide, although Britta's sister, Tish Forgy, wrote on a GoFundMe page to raise money for her sister's cremation that the police told her family that her sister was brutally murdered. Tish said that her sister was tossed out like a piece of garbage. "No one deserves to end this way. You think this happens to other people and it doesn't happen to you," she said. James and Edward remain held at the Autauga County Jail as the investigation into the matter continues. On the 22nd of July 2022, 31-year-old Aaron Joseph Trout of Glenview, Michigan, was arrested and charged with the beating death of a 2-year-old girl and then leaving the dead toddler with a woman at a local hospital before fleeing the scene. The events came to light at around 10 a.m. on the 22nd of July 2022, when the Michigan State Police were dispatched to the My Michigan Medical Center, located in the 1500 block of West Chisholm Street in Alpena, Michigan. It is reported that a woman arrived at the hospital with an unresponsive 2-year-old baby, seeking medical attention for the child, but the child was pronounced dead. Soon after, the authorities identified the baby's residence in Alcona County, and the investigators identified Aaron as a suspect in the baby's death, and he was taken into custody. The authorities said that Aaron dropped the woman and the child off at the hospital and then left the area. The relationship between Aaron and the woman, or the woman and the deceased child, has not been disclosed, but it was confirmed that the baby was not Aaron's daughter. The authorities believe the child sustained the fatal injury several days before being brought to the hospital, but the authorities are awaiting the results of an autopsy to determine the exact cause of death. Aaron appeared virtually and repeatedly told the judge that he needed to be released from jail because he had recently obtained a new job which he was slated to begin on the 27th of July. The judge was unsympathetic to the accused killer's request and emphasized Aaron's criminal record of criminal assault, resisting police, failing to appear in court, and a history of substance abuse, and denied his request for bond. Aaron was also prohibited from accessing the internet or having any contact with the victim's family while in jail. He may make phone calls, but only after requesting permission from the court. Aaron was charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, committed in the perpetration or attempt to perpetrate first-degree abuse of a child.